Peace Saga.
This book was written over a period of almost 8 years, and it was not written as a book. They was just written as notes, like epilogues, which were each logs of my observations while being on Earth. I'm on this plane right now, so these are my observations, and these observations are useful for human beings which are staying on this plane right now. So and they were just compiled together in form of this book. You know, the observations which were most relevant, which people need to know most urgently, they have been compiled in the form of this book, because finally the knowledge which people need to know first is something which should be applicable to them, because there's a lot of confusion in human beings on this plane about a lot of things. So to clarify those things from the perspective of Vedic knowledge, these notes were compiled as this book. This book, I put the Vedic knowledge for the modern people, like in this time, like this is for this time. You know, Vedic knowledge comes from very ancient times. Okay, so to put it in a language for the right now, because people have a certain kind of education right now, they have a certain kind of mentality right now, they have a certain kind of way of thinking and being, which is of this present time. So it's bringing Vedic knowledge into the present time and communicating it to people in the language which they would understand right now. Like right now, people will not understand Sanskrit, and how those people talked to those people which were very long ago. So the mentality was different. Everything was different at that time. This is for people right now, for their mentality, for their thinking, for this generation. Right now on Earth, it's Vedic knowledge for them in a way they will be able to understand. It's introducing them. If they get into this, they will get introduction to the Vedic knowledge. And after that, they will understand more about this world and their own self and everything to do with this universe, yourself, this plane, and everything, which any human being should know. It should be a normal thing for all human beings to know this. And it has been hidden by some forces, and finally it has to come out. And so that's the time right now, and that's the work. The thing about these laws are the basic laws, which every being should know in this time on Earth right now. Are there in this book. That's why this book has been compiled. You know, this I have compiled this book so that beings out here on this plane of existence right now get some understanding of some basic laws, so that they don't break those basic laws. Okay, it's like a basic roadmap to your life and existence without breaking those laws. So that's why this P's Gita has been compiled, for giving the knowledge of these basic laws. That's the whole point of the book. When you don't know the rules of this universe, multiverse, you get into problems in this thing called life and existence. Okay, this thing which we call life and existence, you get into problems, roadblocks, accidents, pain, things like that. That's what happens if you don't know about it and don't try to find out about it. In regarding to this book, I should tell the people that this is not a novel. You know, like you have a novel. You know, so how do you read a novel? Is just like, you know, you just open a book and you just start reading it in your mind, right? But this book is not to be read like that. It is to involve your body and your speech. It's meant to get a yogic posture running while you're reading the book. And when you speak something from your mouth, when you repeat a pure principle from your mouth, it has more power, has more coherence, and it's your voice. First, the book is to be read from the center of the mouth. Okay, you will have to actually sit down in a centered position and speak from the center of mouth each page. Mantra is anything which is truth, simply. Okay, mantra is anything which is the truth which you speak using the human voice. So now human voice is a very important thing for a human body. You know, whenever you eat food, you produce energy out here in your stomach, and that energy comes out as your speech back from the mouth. The same mouth which ate the food brings that back. So it's a process which you complete. So when you read the book like that, you are reading those facts from your mouth, which creates an energy field, force, just like a mantra would. So people think mantra is just like something in Sanskrit or some other language. Mantra is any fact which you speak from your mouth, from the center of your mouth. Obviously, the effect is that they'll align more with the divine will, which is called the Force in Star Wars. Like in movies like Star Wars, it's called the Force. Okay, and when that happens, then you evolve. What that means is that you go up higher. Okay, so you raise yourself, and that's the whole point of being a human being on earth, that you raise yourself. Okay, and you increase in your awareness, you increase in your consciousness, you increase in everything, in all ways you grow higher. And finally, that means you can get out of ignorance and misery, and pain, into bliss, knowledge, and pleasure. So that is the effect that will have. And once you read, after that you have to apply in your life too, in yourself, in your actions. Because with this body, you can do actions only. That's the only thing you can do. And it takes you to doing the right actions. And through those actions, you will keep on evolving. That when people start applying it, they have to apply it using their body, because as a human being, all we have is actions. So after this book, people will try to do the right actions. When that knowledge comes into you, you want to do the right actions. And once you do the right actions, you always are going to evolve in all ways.
And that's what the book is for. Even if you read the book from your mouth many times, and your coherence will increase, and it will show in nature. When you connect with nature, if you actually do read it, and if you actually do understand it, best to read it from the mouth. But that is a practice again, because again, human body has to be used. And all the Vedic tradition was oral tradition. The rishis, they used to teach from the mouth, speak, and the disciples used to repeat from the mouth. That's how learning used to happen. Yeah, and this book, the thing about this is that this book is not to be read in a normal way, like through the mind. This book has to be spoken. Like when you read it, you speak each, and I don't have many words per page, so it is easy to read.
Yes.
It's not many words per page. So yeah, so it's easy. You have to read that out, speak it out. And when you speak something, then it actually enters your consciousness. Okay, and when you trying to speak, you try to speak from the center of your mouth. Don't try to speak from the left or right, which is again the same balancing thing, that you have to balance your body. Yes, and balanced speech. Reading my book, that's a safe content, because my book is about pure principles. They are the Vedic knowledge for the current time. Okay, it is about the Vedic knowledge for the current time in a way people can understand in this time and age, in this present time. Whenever you're reading that and speaking that, you are speaking pure principles. Okay, and so that is always a safe thing to do. Okay, like so that is the safe speech. And then it has to be done properly. Medi means center. Centering is the best medicine. It is both hands like this, which is like again coming to center. You're coming to the center. This is for when you're reading the book, my book from your mouth, this is the way to do it. Okay, yeah. And you can do the eye exercise which I told you before, to make yourself centered.
Nature responds to intention immediately. So intent is everything when it comes to nature.
And there is obviously the pictures are the connection with nature, like And because nature is a big part of Vedic. For example, fractality is their concept of fractality, modern concepts, like which are like fractals, which are also connected to the Vedic concept. So I've gone into that in this book as well. Like, so modern scientific concepts and ancient Vedic knowledge for the present time. Like, that's what this book is about. So like, if people, and it's easy to understand and read, like, so people can, like, in one page, there's not many words. So it's not like you're reading paragraphs and getting confused, like, it is like simple words, simple language, simple that thing. So the fractality thing, like in this, the pictures which are there of nature and nature just responding and stuff. So yeah, like, so those are there in the book, so like that all is an important part. So it has to be an experience. It's a visual experience also, because a picture sometimes speaks 1,000 words, they say. Like, a picture speaks 1,000 words. So that is part of this book. Once you put light on it, once you put that thing. So this book is that light, like, it's a very straight, like, I call it setting the record straight. I'm just setting the record. So like, because there is a lot of confusion about Vedic knowledge. So I'm just making it very clear what it is. Yeah. So this ignorance has to be lifted. That's why the light has to shine on the thing. And with this book, I'm trying to give them from the Indian Vedic thing, which is there already, which is that thing, and which has become very polluted and convoluted, and people do not know anymore. So because that turned into Hindu in India, so Vedic didn't stay Vedic, it became Hindu. So again, people do not have access to the direct Vedic. So my point in giving this book is to actually give people taste of like real Vedic, like, so once they go through it, they will definitely develop a taste for it, and then after that they can carry on from there. So it's a very good starting point for anyone of any age to like start with this, like, so. And this book is like the basics of everything. Once you get your basics right, like a foundation, what I call foundation. Once you have a foundation, you can build a house. If you don't have foundation, you cannot build house, like, so you need to have a solid, firm foundation. And what I'm dealing with this book is foundation. Once that is there, after that you can work and learn different things and go into different areas. And like, but you need the foundation, because foundation is very weak. I find most places people don't give foundation.
Peace Saga.